I think it's good morning. Why? Because this is Tuesday. Good morning, live. See, class 10th CBSE metals and non-metals. I want to discuss because morning they are having exam, my students. Okay, that is why physical properties of metals I am going to discuss. Physical properties of metals. See, first point is nature of ions. That is metals. Metals are electropositive elements and hence lose one or more electrons to form positive ions. Then non-metals, first point, non-metals are electronegative elements and hence gain one or more electrons to form negative ions. Then nature of oxides. Metals form basic oxides. For example, oxides of sodium and magnesium dissolve in water to form bases. Non-metals form acidic oxides or neutral oxides. For example, oxides of nitrogen and sulfur dissolve in water to form acids. Then next, reaction with water and steam. Some active metals like sodium, potassium, calcium, aluminum, iron, etc. displace hydrogen from water or steam. Then non-metals except fluorine generally do not react with water. Then fourth property of reaction with the dilute acids. Metals which lie above hydrogen in the activity series displaces hydrogen from dilute acids. Like example zinc plus sulfuric acid, it is gives rest zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Then non-metals, fourth point, non-metals do not react with the dilute acids and hence do not displace hydrogen from dilute acids. Then fifth point of properties, oxidizing and reducing behavior. Metals have a strong tendency to lose electrons and hence they behave as reducing agents. Non-metals have a strong tendency to accept electrons and hence they behave as oxidizing agents. This is the total metals and non-metals properties or characters. Then next, another question, name two metals which will displace hydrogen from dilute acids and two metals which will not. See here, sodium and calcium can displace hydrogen from dilute acids. Copper and silver cannot displace hydrogen from dilute acids. See, sodium and calcium can displace hydrogen from dilute acids and copper and silver cannot displace hydrogen from dilute acids. This is the answer. Then next, another question, that is, choose the amphoteric oxides from amongst the following oxides. That is, like we can say sodium oxide and zinc oxide, aluminum oxide and copper dioxide and water. Here, choose the amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric, what is the definition of amphoteric oxides? Which have acidic nature and as well as basic nature. That is known as amphoteric oxides. Which substance can show acidic nature as well as basic nature, then that type of substance or that type of chemical substance we can say amphoteric oxides. But here examples we can give amphoteric oxides, zinc oxide and aluminum oxide or amphoteric oxides. Then why, next another question, why is sodium kept immersed in kerosene oil? This is very important. Sodium is a very reactive metal. Actually, sodium is very reactive metal. It reacts with the oxygen of the air to form sodium oxide. It also reacts with the moisture present in air to form sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. The hydrogen thus produced sometimes catches fire. Like we can say sodium plus oxygen, it is going to give sodium oxide, Na2O, sodium oxide. Then sodium and water, sodium hydroxide will give, sodium hydroxide is one of the base, then eliminating water, hydrogen. Then we can say to protect the metal and also to prevent accidental fires, sodium is kept immersion in kerosene oil. This is very important question in CBSE question. Okay, then next, another important question, that is, which gas produced when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to a reactive metal? Write that chemical reaction when iron reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid formula is H2SO4. Then when dilute HCl or hydrochloric acid is added to a reactive metal like zinc and hydrogen gas is produced. Like zinc formula is Zn plus hydrochloric acid is HCl, then it is going to form zinc chloride. Zinc chloride formula is ZnCl2 plus H2. Then like zinc iron is also reactive metal, therefore we can say it reacts with the dilute sulfuric acid to produce H2 gas. Then next iron plus sulfuric acid, that is H2SO4, then iron sulfate will give. Iron sulfate formula is FeSO4. FeSO4 plus we can say hydrogen is eliminating. Then next another important question, that is why is zinc oxide called an amphoteric oxide? Name another amphoteric oxide. This is also important. Here we can say that these are the oxides which can show both acidic and basic natures. Like we can say aluminum oxide. Aluminum oxide formula is Al2O3 and zinc oxide is ZnO, zinc oxide. The amphoteric character of zinc oxide is shown by the, like we can say, we can give equations ZnO zinc oxide plus HCl, then it is going to give zinc chloride ZnCl2, ZnCl2 plus water. Zinc oxide and sodium hydroxide, it is going to give sodium zincate. Sodium zincate formula is Na2ZnO2, Na2ZnO2. This is very important, sodium zincate. And as well as water molecule also it is eliminating. Or we can ask this question another like this: water amphoteric oxide, give examples of two amphoteric oxide. Give examples of two amphoteric oxides. Like one is amphoteric oxide, that is aluminum oxide, and another one is zinc oxide. Always you should remember aluminum oxide is not AlO. We have to write Al2O3. Why? Because aluminum valence is +3 and oxygen valence is -2. Then Al2O3 only it is correct. If you write AlO, that is wrong. Okay, that is why Al2O3 and another one is zinc oxide. Then next another question. What is the another what they are asking? Name any one metal which reacts neither with cold water nor hot water but reacts with steam to produce hydrogen gas. Okay, that is like aluminum and iron. Why? Because that is why we are using as a aluminum utensils. Or even name any one metal which reacts neither with cold water nor hot water. It doesn't react with cold water and hot water. That is why we can make aluminum utensils, iron utensils. Like the next very important that in metals and non-metals, malleability and ductility. What is the malleability? Malleability is a physical property of metals that defines their ability to be hammered, pressed or rolled into thin sheets without breaking. In other words, it is the property of a metal to deform under compression and take on a new shape. Even I want to give one more. My malleability means which can make like thin sheet. That is also we can consider malleability. The next, ductility is the physical property of material associated with the ability to hammered, thin or stretched into wire without breaking. A ductile substance can be drawn into a wire. Example, like most metals are good examples of ductile materials, including gold, silver, copper, like samarium, erbium, terbium also we can give. Then next another important topic, that is metals and non-metals. Name two metals that start floating after some time when immersed in water and explain why they do so. This is very important question is in 10th class. Both calcium and magnesium are heavier than water but still float over it. It can ask like this also. See, I am explaining. Name two metals that start floating after some time when immersed in water and explain why they do so. That is also it can ask. Another question is, both calcium and magnesium are heavier than water, but still float over it. Explain why. Because why it is happening like this. Two metals are like calcium and magnesium. Calcium symbol is Ca, magnesium symbol is Mg, but they float because the bubbles of hydrogen gas formed stick to the surface of the metal. That is why it will flow the calcium hydroxide and magnesium hydroxide. Okay, then next another one we can give how very important. Next another one, that is with the help of like metals and non-metals. Another topic, dry litmus paper. Like one question it can ask, Shalini took sulfur powder on a spatula and burned it. She calculated the gas evolved inverting a test tube over it as shown. In like we can show, it can ask below, what will be the action of gas. First one is a dry litmus paper. Second one moist litmus paper. Write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction taking place. Then here the gas is sulfur dioxide. It will not react with the dry litmus paper. Another question is like which is second question, moist litmus paper. The gas will bleach moist litmus paper. Then another, write balanced chemical equation for the reaction. That is we can write sulfur symbol is S, then oxygen is O2. In the presence of heat, sulfur dioxide it will form. That is also very important. Then next in this metals and non-metals, this is very important. Aqua regia, like we can say, the solution used by the man who climbed to Goldsmith was aqua regia, or aqua regia another name is royal water. Aqua regia another name is royal water. Aqua regia is a freshly prepared solution of concentrated hydrochloric acid and nitric acid in the ratio of 3:1 volume. Gold dissolves in aqua regia and hence the weight of the bangles got reduced. Then next another one, that is give reasons why copper is used to make hot water tanks but still is not. Like that also they can ask. Then copper is much better conductor of heat than steel. Although steel is much cheaper than copper. Why? Because copper is, like we can say, although steel is much cheaper than copper. Durability, we can say, that is availability is more. Then to save heat losses, hot water tanks are made up of copper rather than steel. Then like this also they can ask, design an activity to demonstrate that metals are good conductors of electricity. Draw the necessary diagram and label its parts. Like we have to labeling that cell. Then cell, it is going to connect with the bulb. Then copper wire also it is there. Like that we have to show. The next another one, electric wires used in domestic wirings are coated with a rubber like material. State the name of this material and write the purpose of this coating. That is also like this they can ask. Like what is the coating? That polyvinyl chloride, PVC we will call polyvinyl chloride. What purpose? To provide insulation to the metallic wire. Then next it can ask like which metals do not react with water at all. that is which metals are not reacting. Lead, copper, silver, gold and platinum do not react with water to at all. Then next, we can ask, why is titanium called a strategic metal? Strategic metal, and mention two its properties. Like we can say, what are the speciality of titanium is called strategic metal because it is used for making certain war equipments, like we can say commercial equipments. What are the properties? It is light in weight but stronger than the other metals. It is not affected by corrosion even if we keep in the open air for a very long time. It doesn't react that much. Then next, name the metal whose fossils are used for the packing of food materials. What are the food in our market, in our near to market, whenever you are purchasing, there we can see that aluminum foils are used for the packing of food materials. Then next, give reasons type of questions they can ask, like platinum, gold and silver are used to make jewelry. Yes, these metals placed at the bottom of the activity series are very little reactive in nature. Gold symbol is AU and platinum symbol is BT, are even known as noble metals. They are not affected by air, water and even by chemical, since they have bright luster and jewelry can be made from them. This is the main important thing. The next, sodium, potassium and lithium are stored under oil corrosion. This is also already we discussed, but I am going to give as all the three metals react with water, producing lot of heat. As a result, hydrogen evolve catches fire. These are kept under corrosion to avoid contact with both air and water. Then when exposed to air, like aluminum is highly reactive metal, at it is used to make utensils for cooking. Yes, like when exposed to air, the metal changes to its oxide called aluminum oxide. It gets deposited over the surface of the metal and forms protective coating on the surface. It becomes unreactive and can be used in making cooking utensils. Metal oxides can be easily reduced to metal form with coke. That is how we can ask. It can ask a question. Carbonate and sulfide ores are usually converted into oxides during the process of extraction. Yes, like we can say, metal oxides can be easily reduced to metallic form with coke, carbon, any other suitable reducing agents. Therefore, carbonates and sulfides are converted into the oxide formed by process of calcination and roasting. This is our topic today, but mainly important. Yes, one more thing, that is metals are conducting electricity. Yes, conduct electricity. Yes, as metal atoms are have free electrons to flow. That is why it can conduct electricity. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you, and we will discuss next topic is chemical reactions, like metals and non-metals. Chemical, like we can say, metals and non-metals chemical reactions. Okay, thank you everyone.